Today, we're jumping into one of the most, you know, truly beautiful and profound chapters in the Quran, Surah Ar-Rahman. Think of it as this amazing journey through divine gifts, the incredible balance of the universe, and what comes after, all built around this one powerful question that just keeps coming back. And this is the question. It's the very heartbeat of the chapter, a refrain you'll hear 31 times. It's not just asking for an answer either. It's a challenge, this rhythmic pulse that forces you to just stop and reflect. And you're going to see it pop up again and again as we go. All right, so let's get into it. The surah kicks off by telling us exactly who it's from and what it's all about. What's so interesting is that it doesn't start with a list of do's and don'ts. Nope, it starts with the absolute foundational gifts given by the most merciful to, well, all of creation. And that name, Ar-Rahman, it's not just the title of the chapter, it's literally the very first word. And you have to know, that's completely on purpose. It sets the stage for everything that follows. It's like a lens. Every single blessing and even every warning we're about to see is framed by this idea of a huge, all-encompassing mercy. So check this out. The very first favors mentioned, what are they? It's not money, it's not status, it's revelation, divine guidance, it's creation, the fact that we even exist. And then there's this really cool one, bayan, or eloquence, the ability to actually understand, to reason, and to talk to each other. These are the big ones. And boom, right away, before you can even really let those massive ideas sink in, we get that question again. It just hits you, and it forces you to look inward, right? Like, how on earth could anyone deny these things? They're the very fabric of who we are. Okay, so from this focus on us, on humanity, the lens pulls way back. The idea of divine favors just explodes outwards to cover the whole cosmos. Now we're talking about a universe that is running in this perfect, almost delicate balance. And look, this isn't just beautiful poetic language. The text is pointing to things we can actually see and measure. The precise orbits of the sun and the moon, the stars, the trees. It says they are all in a state of sujood, or prostration. It's this powerful image of the entire universe perfectly submitted to a divine system. And this brings us to a super important concept here, mizan, which means balance. The text says this balance was set up in the heavens, but then it turns right to us. It says, you do not mess with the balance. It's this amazing link between the order of the entire cosmos and our own personal ethics. The idea is that our sense of justice should mirror that universal law. Pretty deep. Now, here's something interesting. The surah isn't just talking to humans. It's also addressing the jinn, beings created from a smokeless fire. By pointing out their different origins, it's making it clear that there's another form of intelligent life sharing this world with us. And guess what? They're being asked that exact same question. And we see that theme of balance pop up again, this time in nature. You know that phenomenon where two seas meet, like freshwater running into saltwater, but they don't immediately mix? The text describes that, a barrier, or barzakh, that keeps them apart. It's held up as another one of these tangible favors that you can literally go and see for yourself. So, let's recap. We've seen evidence from the vastness of space, from the world right in front of us, and from our own existence. And then there's that question again. It's basically forcing us to look at all this incredible, intricate design and ask ourselves, really, could all of this just be a coincidence? All right, the rhythm of the chapter keeps going, but the tone takes a sharp turn. I mean, a really dramatic shift. We're pulled away from the wonders of creation and thrown right into the future, to the absolute certainty of a day of reckoning. And this verse, man, it's one of the most powerful in the whole chapter. A straight-up, unavoidable reminder that we're all mortal. Everything we see, everything we build, it's all temporary. The only thing that lasts, it says, is the face of your Lord, the owner of majesty and honor. The way this day is described is just, wow. The imagery is so vivid and cosmic. The sky literally splitting open and turning a rose color, like shimmering oil. The language is clearly trying to paint a picture of something so huge it's almost beyond our imagination. And on that day, the text is crystal clear. There's no arguing your case. There's nowhere to hide. Your actions are just known. Accountability is immediate. It's showing that the consequences for breaking that balance we talked about are very, very real. But then, think about where that question pops up. It's right here.
in the middle of describing Judgment Day. That's so important. It kind of suggests that the warning itself, that's also a favor. It's a mercy from Ar-Rahman, a chance to wake up and get back on track before it's too late.
And then, just like that, the mood flips again. With the same incredible detail it used for the Day of Reckoning, the chapter now pivots to the reward. For anyone who is mindful of God, who lived by that principle of balance, we get one of the most vivid, detailed, sensory descriptions of paradise you'll find anywhere in the Quran.
So, how does the reward start? With a pretty mind-blowing promise. For the person who is aware they'd have to stand before their Lord, they get not one, but 2 gardens. And just when you think that's amazing, it doesn't even stop there. The text then says that besides those 2, there are another 2 gardens. So we're talking about different tiers, multiple levels of reward here. The level of detail here is just unbelievable. These gardens aren't identical copies. No. The first 2 are described with spreading branches and flowing springs. But the second pair? They're described as being this deep, dark green with springs that are gushing forth. Even the fruits are different, from every kind in 2 to specific ones like dates and pomegranates. It really is a full-on sensory experience. And this descriptive language doesn't just stop at the gardens. It even extends to the companions there. They're compared to things we consider incredibly precious, like rubies and coral. It's like the text is trying to give us a reference point for a kind of beauty that's totally beyond anything we know here. So you see, the reward isn't just about what you see. It's about ultimate peace, total comfort. You've got people reclining, which is the ultimate posture of relaxation, right? Beds lined with the finest silk brocade, pure companions. The whole environment is designed for pure tranquility and honor. And this all builds to a climax, this one simple, powerful rhetorical question. After describing this incredible reward, it asks, is the reward for good anything but good? It basically sums up the whole idea of divine justice. The concept of al-ihsan, which is like excellence in doing good, is rewarded with nothing less than that same excellence from God. It's perfect, balanced reciprocity. So, after taking us on this epic journey through the universe, through time, all the way to eternity, this surah doesn't end with that question one last time. Instead, it closes with this one final, powerful statement of praise. And it really brings us full circle. The chapter ends by blessing the name of the Lord, the owner of majesty and honor. It pulls our focus away from all the amazing gifts and puts it right back on the giver. And, it leaves us thinking about that refrain one last time. After hearing all of that, really, which of the favors of your Lord would you deny?